All right, while they get that figured out, I'll just do a little intro here. I'm Jordan, VP of Marketing at Links, and we have one of our latest partners, which is Golfbreaks. They are an amazing golf travel company that we partnered with. We've got some special pricing for our members that people can access in our clubhouse through our membership. And so we want to bring on Golf Breaks. We've got Guy, we've got Josh. They're going to talk to you about Golf Breaks. We're going to talk about planning really awesome golf trips. They've got some tips and tricks for you. So if you have any friends who are looking to do a golf trip soon, these guys are the experts. Invite them to the spaces. Tell them to get in here because this is, you're going to hear it straight from them, the experts on planning golf trips. So looks like we've got Guy and Josh ready now. Are you guys ready to go?
Yeah, we're good to go. Sorry about that. I'm now. Mic is on. Everything's ready.
You're good to go on my end.
Awesome. Cool. So I am going to pass it over to Guy and Josh. Why don't you guys go ahead and introduce yourselves for the group here?
Yeah, hi there. I'm here with Josh. We work together on Golfbreaks by PGA Tour. As you can hear, I'm based out of the UK. Which is where Golfbreaks head office is. And Josh is based in our Charleston office, South Carolina. So I don't know how much you guys know about Golfbreaks, but I'm one of the founding directors. We set up the company back in, it's actually coming up to our 25th year yet, next year, so it's quite exciting, but we set it up in 98 with a view to providing great value golf breaks, as they're known in the UK, or golf trips to everyday golfers, and give people the best experience as they can globally. And at the time, we set it up initially just focusing on UK trips for Brits, but then we quickly, as we grew, we extended it out to the big European golf destinations like Spain, Portugal, France. Then moving further afield into the Middle East and then into the States. We're probably in the noughties still. We're talking at this point, Thailand, South Africa, and so forth. And then on our journey, we actually also had a tea time brand called Tea of Times, which we ultimately sold in 2015, and this was online tea time booking. We sold it to Golf Now, who wanted to enter the UK golf tea time booking market, and we were the biggest player at the time doing tea time booking, and so ultimately we started a partnership with them, and then they acquired the brand. But the reason for mentioning that was the trigger for us to expand internationally, and on the back of that, we set up offices in the US. So in Charleston, Dan, who's my co-director, went out to Charleston, sort of taking sort of a heartland golf destination. Plus, he's married to an American lady, Nancy, who wanted to live in Charleston. So the office was picked down there. And at the same time, we set up an office in Denmark, catering for the Scandinavian market. And I don't know if you guys know, but the Scandinavians are really active and avid golfers. There's a portion of Scandinavians who do play golf, but the interesting thing about that is their courses are either under snow or frozen for almost half the year, so they do travel a lot for their golf. So that's where we went in 2015. We started selling signature courses in UK and Ireland, initially to the North American market, and then in 2017 we launched US domestic destinations, and now sell sort of all of the core destinations in the States. There's 9 states currently, the typical candidates: Florida, California, the Carolinas, Arizona. We've just launched Alabama, Georgia, Texas. I might have missed one out as well, but we have hundreds, thousands of domestic packages that we sell currently. Then coming to the more recent times, 2019, we did a partnership with the PGA Tour. They actually became minority investors in our company, with a view to, we knew that to actually market in the States is huge. So we're going to need support, a big megaphone to get our brand out there. So hence the partnership with the tour. came along, and it's sort of in return for the investment, we get access to their marketing channels and their license. Hence, Golfbreaks by PGA Tour was born. And then, as we all remember, 2020, we went slam straight into the pandemic, and which was like a basket case for travel, which is unfortunate timing on the PGA Tour deal. But we've actually now, come out of that like most of travel has, thankfully, been with this post-pandemic surge and people wanting to travel again. We're having a really, really strong time with our trips. There's always headwinds ahead, you can see, with the cost of living, but at the moment, bookings are really strong. The company's growing fast, and Josh and the team over in South Carolina, where it's now, people-wise, we're about 27, 28 people out there. We've got about 150 in the UK, and sort of a smaller team of 5, 6 in Scandinavia. So hopefully it gives you a snapshot of it.
No, that's great. And I read that 2021 had the most tee times globally of any year in history. So I can only imagine how crazy it is for you guys. And going through airports these days and the amount of golf bags that you see at the luggage claim is just amazing. I love to see it. So that was great. Thank you, Guy. And I think next for me is I'd love to have you walk us through booking a trip through Golfbreaks. So one of our members goes on your site. They want to take a golf trip, whether it's overseas, domestic, whatever it may be, they use Golfbreaks. Let's use St. Andrews as an example. I'd love for you to walk us through, what does it look like? You hit the site. I want to go to St. Andrews. Walk me through end to end, kind of the beginning all the way to, walking up to the first tee at St. Andrews.
Wow, that is quite a journey. I'm not sure how many people on the call have it. I haven't yet, so but we look forward to it at some point. But I mean, the way we work, we're all about service. The company is sort of born on the back of providing people with really strong service and expert advice and knowledge, on the back of also providing really good value as well, and a broad choice of destinations to go to. But St. Andrews is a really interesting, because it's so unlike any other destination. So it's almost it's unique. It's a unique case within it. But the way you do, I mean, the way we generate, or the way people sort of reach out to us is actually either through our website, typically, and they send a web inquiry through, or they just call us direct. You'll see if you go onto our website, we got a whole range of packages and tours for the UK and Ireland, of which St. Andrews features heavily in the Scotland area. So you'd send a web inquiry or call us. It would then go out. We have a number of UK and Ireland specialists within the team, Chris Bowles being one of them, who went to university. He's another Brit. He went to university in St. Andrews, knows the area amazingly well, played all the courses, and he's like, the front man who will be able to guide you through your trip planning. So then it's a case of, giving an idea of your budget, your dates, obviously, naturally, how many in your group, and then it's the type of golf you'd like to play and the type of accommodation. And then that will, Chris will take all this confirmation in, or whoever else might be, Pat, with George on the team, and then they will put together various packages based on your golfing requirements. Or if you're very broad, then they will make some recommendations around it. And depending on budgets, we often recommend that people play some of the hidden gems around there if they can't afford to play, the big signature courses, such as Carnoustie and Kings Barnes and the new course, and Old as well, and stuff like that, because there's a whole range of amazing Scottish courses that also can be packaged up, which would just that people overlook normally when they're doing it. So and then if you take St. Andrews in particular itself, then you'll know that some of you will know that to actually pre-book a tee time on St. Andrews, then we have certain specific packages which are guaranteed tee times, but there's always a limited allocation that is provided to either tour operators, golf packages like ourselves, or in the general marketplace ourselves. And these are at a premium, these packages as well, because they're also relatively rare. So you can book some of those. I must say that demand for 2023 it's been immense, and I'm not sure if we have any guaranteed packages left. We do though for 2024. But don't give up there. There's definitely other ways, as you'll know, you can get on, because the ballot is typically a very successful process for getting onto the old course. Where what we'd recommend is that we come up with an itinerary that has your full golfing itinerary, whether it is Kings Barnes, the old course, Carnoustie or Crail, or wherever additional nearby courses that you want to play. We will say stay in the St Andrews area, enter the ballot every day, and the chances are it's highly guaranteed that you'll get a tee time within your stay. So that's sort of strategy to do that. There are other strategies as well, which is you do the walk, you stand in line and you get up early and walk onto the course, but that normally involves like a 4 or 3 o'clock in the summer anyway, 3 o'clock get up and waiting down by the clubhouse, where you'll see a whole lot of other people. I don't know who's done it on it. And funny enough, there's a little story. So we have one of the Golf Week journalists doing that. I think pretty much at the moment. He wanted to document, because he's on it. We've organised with Visit Scotland Tourist Board this most amazing trip for him to take and then record and write up and push the socials. But he wanted to experience standing in line, getting up and walking on as a single.
Yeah.
The old course, and then write about it. So that gives you enough. But coming back to our packaging, so we'll work out your agenda. If it's the old you want to play, how you want to play it. If you want to play all the signatures or want to play some hidden gems, or actually you want to do a 2-part journey and go up to the Highlands for the trip, and whatever. Play sort of Castle Stewart or Aberdeen International, or various other amazing links courses up there, then that's another option that easily do. Driving distances, you'll know, are small in the UK compared to the States, so that typically isn't a problem for a lot of people. And then the last bit outside your golf and your hospitality, your accommodation, is work out whether you want to be driven by transfers, in which case you'll get typically a very knowledgeable driver will take you around. It's great fun. There's lots of stories, and they'll drop you off on all your courses and bring you back to the hotel. Or you can self-drive naturally, but then of course in the UK, driving's on the left-hand side, so you need to be used to and comfortable with driving on that way as well.
I agree with that. I've had the privilege of doing a few UK trips, and I think the one thing people underestimate is how much work it is and how prepared you need to be, right? This isn't a normal vacation. You're showing up in a foreign country with golf clubs in a golf case, which is typically very large, right? You're getting into a rental car and you're driving on the opposite side of the road if you don't have transportation. And then I think the best thing that you guys offer, in my opinion, is my number one piece of advice for someone traveling over there is having someone who's in the know and who's connected. So you guys have that on your team, and to, have someone who can get you on the courses, make sure you're, at the right time, at the right place. Also the routing of the trip, right? Is this course 4 hours away and we have to go from the hotel at 7 a.m. to get there, or whatever it may be. So, that's fantastic. And I love that. And having you guys on the side of booking a trip, it would be amazing.
Jordan, the one thing that we kind of like to say is, these trips that we put together, they're customized trips. The packages and stuff that we have on our website is just really inspiration for people to see what we can offer, and at the same time we can change things, basically customize this trip to the preferences of our customers. And that goes for pretty much all of our trips. The UK and Ireland trips, especially, a lot of people, when they think of a golf trip here within the States, it might be a 3-night weekend getaway. But those bucket list trips over to the UK and Ireland, they're certainly, can be extended for a longer period of time. You're taking the time to fly over, across the ocean. So you don't want to go for a couple of days. It might be, 7 nights, 10 nights, whatever. But our specialists have, the knowledge of the courses, the hotels, the areas of each, UK and Ireland, to put together a great tour and customize it again to maybe someone who's on a budget or looking to stay at a certain price point, or someone who wants to hit all the, the Open Championship courses. We have the ability to customize to exactly what someone's looking for.
Definitely. So next up here is tips and tricks. A lot of people learn the hard way with golf travel. Like I said, it's not like a normal vacation. There's just a lot more moving parts. So what are some of y'all's tips and trips for a long golf vacation and a golf trip, especially with a group of people? What do you kind of go to first if you're helping out somebody?
Is that an international one, Jordan, or is that a?
Yeah, let's say international, just because it's so much more complicated.
I mean, yeah, if you're talking packing and it's Scotland, then there's the obvious things like take some waterproofs. It's probably my biggest tip. Take some waterproofs. Take a second pair of shoes because it does rain a lot. And Ireland, we mustn't not think of Ireland, because Ireland's fantastic as well. But as you know, we can have 4 seasons in a day out there, and so be prepared clothing wise. So your shorts and your pants, and then your whatever, waterproofs and spare pair of shoes and stuff like that. And it's also just enjoy the culture out there as well. Which I'm sure is we all know, it's such a large part of a golf trip, is to go and enjoy it, get involved with the locals who are very hospitable out there. It's probably, there's certain tips like just, ensuring that and this is where we'd advise on that, if you've got the right amount of luggage, if you're doing a rental car that's going to fit into the car with your bags, if you're taking your bags as well.
Yeah.
So just ensuring that all works throughout. Obviously, as I mentioned, take the right plugs. You need UK power sockets. Getting the right clothing going in. The great thing about the UK is we all speak the same language, so that's no problem out there. And I don't know if the accommodation type we typically do is more in hotel, B&B, and lodges. We do some sort of rental to self-catering or Airbnb style accommodation as well. But the main core of it, certainly for our UK and Ireland trips, is the hotels. But we have a whole range where you can stay up in the 5-star, of course, St Andrews Hotel, or you can just get a small little B&B in whatever town it is. And actually, a lot of our customers really like that sort of authentic feel, staying in the smaller lodges. So hope that helps. Josh, you might come up with some other tips from your side.
Yeah. Well, as I'm sure a lot of people have seen, especially this last year with the travel issues, a lot of golf clubs getting lost or not delivered. I think there was a picture from Edinburgh Airport of just miles of golf club bags just stacked up due to flight delays and what have you. So definitely if you're gonna go over, shipping your clubs is probably something you want to take into consideration, especially with the amount of companies that do the shipping, the club shipping. It might cost you a little bit more than checking a bag on the flight, but it's you don't have the worry of, am I actually going to see my clubs on the other side? So I think shipping them is something definitely worth considering, especially when traveling across the pond.
And I'll add to that one specific item. If you're listening right now and you've got any kind of golf trip coming up, even if it's, a 2-hour flight, get an air tag for your golf bag. Trust me, it's amazing. You can follow your clubs on the plane as they load them on. You know exactly where they are. And I'll give you my story. I landed in Dublin over the summer, right? Flew across the Atlantic, long flight, finally get to my destination, and I don't have my golf clubs for a 10-day trip. They don't know where they are. It's the company who manages the luggage was different than the airline, and they didn't talk to each other. There's no communication. They couldn't tell me where my clubs were, and the course was hours away where I was about to be headed to. I had to leave the airport without my clubs and no clue when I would get them. Didn't have them for a few rounds. If I had an air tag, I could be like, the clubs are right here. I can see them, go get them. They're on this cart or whatever it may be. That's my biggest tip I can give you. And I learned the hard way on that one. So air tag in your golf bag.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a really good tip there. The only bit where that falls down, and this has happened to me, is when the aircraft bumps your clubs or whatever bit of luggage off the plane, and it comes in a few days later.
The wrong flight, yeah, for sure.
The wrong flight.
I will say, even that, the peace of mind is nice. Just like yeah. Well, cool. So just kind of starting to wrap us up here. Last question, then we're going to take questions. So if any of you guys in the audience have questions, we will be taking questions here in a few minutes. Last one for you guys. Why did you choose to partner with LinksDAO? What drew you to working with our membership and community?
Yeah, straight on, I was introduced through a contact of ours through the PGA Tour. Introduced the team, which is great. First of all, I don't think anyone else is doing anything like you're doing in golf, or certainly when I first saw it, to actually, on the back of the NFT drop, and then to go out and actually build or buy a course and redevelop it. It's just something that just stands out, and that was the intrigue. And there's got to be something in the LinksDAO team, something very driven that has such high ambitions, and I think that's what stands out. And therefore, on the back of that, you've got to say, well, this rolls right through the membership. If it's from the company, the leadership team, it must just follow through to everyone who's supporting it and being a member in there. And it's so, and coming down to the more golfing thing, it's got to mean that kind of all the members are avid golfers or really interested in the game. So that's exactly what appeals.
Awesome.
I hope that gives you a good idea. But yeah, it's great. Sure.
Yeah, we're excited. Anything, Josh, before I jump to questions that you wanted to mention or talk about?
No, just, piggybacking on what Guy said, obviously you guys are building a community of golfers, and, planning golf trips and stuff. It is difficult, and not having to do, any of the, the calling around and booking tee times and hotel rooms yourself is something that is just fantastic. To just give us a call and let us do all the work for you, and really just have to get yourself there. It's really that simple. You'll have the same point of contact throughout the whole booking procedure. We have a fantastic team here, customer service, sales. Everybody's trained up and providing the best experience for golfers, because pretty much just want to give us one call and show up and enjoy yourself.
Yeah, it's good. Thanks, Josh. That was good giving us a little plug. I would add as an additional little plug in there that we, just in case they're concerns, we don't charge any booking fees. We don't. There's sort of unlimited amendments on there. There's no extra tax and stuff like that. It is, and we will also aim to get you the best price, the same or better than going direct to the resorts. So that gives you sort of peace of mind on the price side. So it's good value and service on top.
Awesome. All right. So to wrap us up here, before we wrap up, I should say, Any questions from the audience? Anyone have a trip coming up? Want to ask about a specific destination? Anything to do with golf trips and planning and all that fun stuff from the audience? Just ask to speak if you're interested.
Maybe we kick it off and ask Josh because he's more knowledgeable on stateside. What's our hottest sellers at the moment, Josh? Going into fall and winter.
Yeah, hottest sellers right now coming into fall and winter are obviously going to be your warmer destinations. Palm Springs has been extremely busy. Las Vegas as well. Certainly a destination I would love to go to just to visit, but also play golf. The outside of the Strip, you have so many golf courses in that Las Vegas area. So you can have a full-fledged just guys weekend golfing, gambling. Florida as well is another one. Orlando has so many golf courses, ranging from 3 to 5 stars. So it gives a great variety. For the fall, I think definitely South Carolina is one. Keo Island Golf Resort is probably one of our biggest sellers, kind of year round. Has the ocean course that's hosted 2 PGA championships. The last one being 2021 when Phil won, and then Rory in 2012. Fantastic resort. You got villa accommodations, 5 golf courses. So I think that those are pretty much the big sellers heading into the fall and winter travel season.
Nice. We've got Cooper on stage now. Cooper, welcome. What's your question for the guys?
Hey. That spiel right there kind of stole some of my thunder. My question was going to be for the both of you. What's your favorite golf trip you've ever taken? Right, like what I'm looking for inspiration. Gave some great recommendations there about popular courses, but does any trip in particular really stand out?
Gosh, that is a good one. I'm gonna probably give you a destination that is slightly irrelevant to you guys, but I love Cornwall down in the southwest of the UK, and that part of it is because I really like water sports and surfing. So in some of the golf courses like Trevose down on the southwestern side of the UK is just you get a combination of amazing water sports and golf, which always ticks the box. But going slightly more mainstream, I'd say West Coast Ireland definitely mustn't be overlooked if you're taking a UK trip. Even though I haven't been up to the northwest, but apparently it's absolutely stunning and it's great value as well compared to some of the sort of bigger name courses. But if you go down to the southwest, then you got Lahinch, Ballybunion, Waterville. These are some amazing sort of courses. But then there's a whole load of sort of hidden gem links around there. So I'm sort of thinking slightly outside of the big names UK wise. But then, yeah, finally, if you also these are areas we don't sell, which aren't actually on our US site, but it's all that sort of heathland belt just outside of London, which is kind of where I'm based, which is courses like Sunningdale and the Berkshire, Walton Heath, and stuff like that, which certainly the avid golfers will have heard about there. But some of that Surrey Heathland belt is absolutely amazing to play. It shouldn't be overlooked.
Guy, what was the name of that first town you mentioned with the water sports?
Oh, well, I was thinking this is down in Cornwall, actually, in the southwest.
How do you spell that?
Southwest of England. So it's Cornwall. It's a county actually in England.
Okay.
Cornwall.
It's not like it's signature, but there's some great sort of English links down there, like Trevose, or if you go up, there's Royal North Devon. And yeah, have a look if you just Google Cornwall, Cornwall.
Yeah, that's great. I'm looking on the map. It's the far southwest peninsula of England. That's cool. I never even thought about that area. That's a great hidden gem.
Yeah. There really is some good stuff, but there's stuff everywhere. And you probably need people a lot more knowledgeable than me to dig some of that stuff out.
Yeah,
Nice.
Cooper. I think for me, I think it's got to be Scottsdale. Scottsdale is just one of the biggest, desert golf areas out west that you will just, you'll play amongst basically the landscape. You can also in Old Town Scottsdale as well as where all the nightlife is, and it's a quick drive over from the Phoenix airport, so it's really kind of very accessible as well. Obviously you have the TPC Scottsdale, tour stop, but you also have a ton of other great golf courses there. You have Greyhawk, Wecopa, True North, even going up all the way to Boulders, north of Scottsdale. There's so much great golf there to be had. It's probably one of the best destinations to travel to. My favorite being the Wecopa courses, because it's literally you and the golf course. It's not built among any homes. It's not resorty. It's basically you in the desert. So it's great. And that's coming from me, East Coast guy. I've never really been out to the desert. And then when I went out there, it was like, it's a whole different ball game playing desert golf.
I can vouch for Scottsdale. I feel like every corner of Scottsdale is a golf course. I mean, like there's got to be 100 and something courses just in Scottsdale alone, or some crazy number. I have to look it up, but
there are a lot, and a lot of the PGA
Yeah.
Tour guys, have homes in Scottsdale and play, stay and play out there. Like,
Yeah.
I think like John Rahm is remember it's Silverleaf, I think. But yeah, a good amount of tour players definitely make their homes there, just because of the great golf courses.
Some fantastic answers and inspiration, guys. I'm gonna definitely put together a channel to celebrate this partnership in the Discord. People can discuss their golf trips, either favorite ones in the past or ones they're planning, and we can, discuss this more. But really excited about this partnership. Thanks for the answer.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Cooper.
All right. Thanks, Guy and Josh. This was outstanding. It was great to talk to you. I learned a lot, and looking forward to continuing the partnership and having you guys as a part of the membership. So it's great to chat with you, and we will talk soon.
Yeah, thanks, Jordan. That's great. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Yep. Appreciate the opportunity, Jordan. Thanks.